Hey guys, I'm Pacey Cervantes, new in Nashville. I have my buddy Vincent Mason. How you doing, man? What you got going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in the studio right now. Thanks for having me also, but I'm glad we had a little time to jump on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you allowed to talk about anything you're doing in the studio? Is there anything finalized, or is this kind of like just a session where you're trying to get stuff done?
We're working on it. We're gonna get it out this year, but that's all I really know. I think we have a few more days, I think, set that we're gonna roll out a couple more songs before then, but probably in the fall sometime, if I had to guess.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
you're kind of blowing up. So that's why I'm glad I got you on New in Nashville. You're kind of blowing up. Do you feel like things are moving at a way quicker pace than you thought it would, or are you just like excited that it's moving at this kind of a pace?
I think I'm excited. I think last year was really the year where it felt like it was kind of like, you're holding on and trying to figure it out, and everything was so new. And last year was definitely the longest year I've ever had. I think it was like so much new stuff happening all at once in the span of like 10 months. And now I don't think we've really slowed down, but I think I've gotten used to it. So it doesn't feel like it's moving quite as fast right now. But I guess that means you got to put out another song that gets things moving again. But yeah, I feel like right now I'm kind of in a space where I feel like I have a grip on everything, and everything's it's pretty fun right now. I think with the shows we're playing and working on the album, I'm pretty I guess inspired, you could say.
Yeah. Do you feel like going based off of that? Do you feel like pressure? Like, okay, now I had that hit. Now I gotta make like three more hits, and like, is there that pressure there?
That yeah, the way that you were just going was how I was for the last year, and I was trying to follow up Hell's the Dance Floor with, like you said, like I was like, if we get two or three more hits, like we'll be set. Like if we can get this going right now while it's hot. But that kind of didn't happen. But all the songs we put out afterwards, everyone's singing them at the shows and stuff, and um, in my mind, I was a little like frustrated, I guess, because nothing caught quite as big as Hell's the Dance Floor, but not really in that mindset anymore. I think playing the shows and we've been selling, it was like my dream to play like 1,000 cap clubs. Was like that was like my when I moved to Nashville. I was like, if I could do that and be kind of like that level artist, I'll be happy. And I think it's actually really been true. I think the first couple 1,000 cap shows we did, I was a little nervous. I was like, I hope that was good enough, for the headliner, and I hope everyone felt like they didn't waste their money. But now, it's been really fun. All those songs that I thought were a miss on Hell's the Dance Floor, it feels like, I hear the room singing them, and I've kind of shifted my mindset on that. I guess you could say I'm kind of just I put out songs now, and I know that there's people that are going to hear them, and if it ends up catching that bigger wave, then great. But kind of recently, in the last month or two, I feel like I've shaken that pressure, but definitely was feeling that for the last year. I'd say.
I mean, I feel like that's a good headspace for you to be in because I feel like once you start just letting go of the pressure and having fun, that's probably when you're really gonna blow up. Like when you're gonna get those next two or three hits because like I feel like a lot of the songs that are successful are really just country artists just having fun with it
Agree.
and not succumbing to pressure.
For sure. I mean, that's how Hell's the Dance Floor got made. Like there was no thought in anyone's mind that it was gonna be the song that did that. So and that was the last time I feel like I was truly in that headspace, not just saying it in an interview, but like I was literally just happy to be making music and putting it out. And I was just excited to put out a song that I liked. So I feel like I am back in that space with the album. Like I've had a lot of fun making the
Good.
album, and I just want to show it to my friends and like everyone that I know. So I have the same feeling like putting it out and getting it out to that base of people that we have. So yeah,
That's good to hear. So you just got off of playing Stagecoach. Was that your first time?
first time, yes sir.
How was that? How is it playing to the Stagecoach crowd for the very first?
It,
And I'm sure it won't be the last.
yeah, I mean, I hope not. I mean, I really didn't know what to expect. I think you hear about Stagecoach, and it's like something that, all your favorite artists go play, and it's like kind of a big deal, and everyone talks about being out there in the desert and stuff. But I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't know what the crowd was going to be like, or if anyone was going to know our stuff out there, or if it was going to be kind of like, sometimes you play these big opening shows, and it's like it's a big crowd, but you don't really feel like they're there for you. You might be like background noise, but we ended up drawing two. We got to play twice on one day, and we drew a pretty big crowd. And it felt like those shows that I was talking about. Like it felt like people really kind of knew a lot of the songs in the set and not just the big ones, like some deeper stuff. And it was fun. It was fun, man. It was a adrenaline shot for sure. And then we stuck around and watched Luke Combs that night. And I think I got what all the hype was about. It really is a cool event that they put on.
So that's cool. So that was actually a pleasant surprise. Like you thought people were coming for other people, and then they knew all the words to your songs.
Yeah, I just didn't know who would know me out there, and like how much stuff they would actually know, and it was definitely a pleasant surprise for sure. Like I went out there and it felt like a ticketed show a little bit, at least our stages that we played. So,
dude, that's awesome. I love that. So you've toured with Parker McCollum and Riley Green. Like, were you nervous when you found out you were touring with either of them? Have you looked up to them? Like, what was going through your mind when you got those?
I mean, Parker McCollum is kind of was I'd say the reason that I started writing songs in a way. Like I loved John Mayer, like he was my favorite songwriter, and I loved like kind of country radio hits at the time, and that was kind of my idea of country music, was like these feel good kind of like hit songs, like little dopamine hits like Head Over Boots and American Kids and Drink in My Hand and those kind of songs. And then I heard Parker, and I like John Mayer, and I heard Parker, and it kind of seemed like that, like not meeting down the middle of both of them, but it was all the stuff I liked about country music, like sonically, and all the songwriting stuff I liked about John Mayer. And I was like, I think I could do something like that. I was kind of just playing guitar at the time, and I was wanting to write a song, but I wasn't sure like how I was going to do it or what I wanted to say. And I found Parker and Co. and Turnpike and Flatland and Old Steel Drivers, Chris Stapleton, and I found all that at Ole Miss while I was there for 1 year. And that kind of is a full circle thing to get to play with Parker, I think. Because like I heard that, it was a little bit more of like, oh, I like that. That's catchy. It was like, it really kind of grabbed me in a way where I was like, I think I could try to write songs. So playing shows with him is awesome. And Riley's another one. I've heard him since, high school, like Georgia Time and those kind of songs. Get That Man a Beer were some of the first few country songs I liked. And he was probably the first country artist that I ever heard that wasn't like huge yet. Like him and Parker were everything else. That was like I knew the artist once it was like the biggest thing. Like if they had a number one or something, or like that's when I knew a country artist. But those were the first two that I knew on like a discovery side, I guess. So it's really cool to play shows with them and see where they're at, and try to figure out how to do it ourselves.
Yeah. And you say you were inspired by Parker McCollum and John Mayer. I read somewhere that you were also inspired early by movie soundtracks. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where that came from. I think I said something about I like the Cars. Like Cars was the first movie I saw in theaters, and I remember like Life is the Highway and Real Gone and how they lined up with the scenes and stuff. And then like even watching like College Game Day when I was a kid, like I would be on YouTube watching like LeBron highlights, and like I would only watch the ones with like my favorite songs and stuff. So I guess I just really like I think a great song just lifts a visual, I guess, is kind of the thing. But I like how they can always tell a story a little bit, I guess, is kind of what I meant by that. But I always was like watching movies for the songs, I guess. So like I've just been a fan of music since I was a kid. I think that's kind of where that comes from.
Did you ever watch the movies Twisters? Like that soundtrack was phenomenal.
I did. I went and saw Twisters kind of solely for the soundtrack, honestly. It was all those different artists that I like, and I haven't seen a movie where they made like a country album like that, so it was kind of cool. I think everyone in town kind of went and checked it out.
I know. I love that. I feel like country doesn't get a lot of the props that they do in especially Hollywood or like the movie industry. So I mean, Ain't No Love in Oklahoma from Luke Combs, just like I feel like made that movie, Oh,
it's a smash. Yeah, he played it at Stagecoach like at the very end, and I hadn't seen him play since that song had come out, and it was just like you think he's out of hits, and then he just ripped that new one. It was wild, but that song's sick.
I don't think Luke Combs is ever going to be out of hits.
No, he's never out. I mean, you think he's got to be done with the set, and then he rips 30 more minutes of just like smash songs that are so big that you forgot about him, and then you're just like, gosh, it's hard to believe that it's all one artist, I'm like, God,
Yep.
Spread them out a little bit.
Yeah, it's insane. I feel like he's the new George Strait.
I know. I would agree with that. And I don't even think you realize it until you see him live, because he's just like, it's Luke Combs. You're like, oh, obviously Luke Combs has got a song on the radio or has the song streaming because it's Luke Combs. And then you see him play a set. And then after playing sets on my own, I'm just like, I realize like how insane that actually is,
I mean, you obviously know your songs, but like, do you ever accidentally, you have so many songs, do you ever accidentally like forget the words while you're on stage?
I actually don't. I mean, there's maybe been a couple on like some covers and stuff, maybe, but there is a song I wrote called "Living Proof" that I rewrote the second verse while we were recording it. Like literally, like in the studio, I was like, this verse has always kind of bothered me. Like, let me just mess with it for like 5, 10 minutes, and I rewrote it and flipped some stuff around. So sometimes I'll sing the old version of that one.
Ah,
So
yeah.
that's the only one that I get tripped up on, and then a little too good. There's like the verses are the same for the most part, and then the pre's change on both of them. So I'll sing the wrong pre every now and then on Little Too Good, but only stuff that I've changed around. But like I kind of go on autopilot with other songs. Like I don't even
Yeah.
know that I know them, you know? Like I can
Right.
think about
Right.
other things while I'm singing those songs. It's kind of funny. Like I don't even know they're just like on a hard drive somewhere in my
Yeah.
subconscious. I guess they just come out. I don't even know how I know or what I know, but I get some stuff flipped around sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're having fun. So you're on the road a lot. You're like recording now. So you have a super busy life. Is there anything I love to kind of touch on mental health because I feel like we just don't talk about it enough. Is there anything you do to kind of keep your mental health in check, like in between all the crazy, chaotic, busy things in life that goes on in your life?
Yeah, I think working out and exercising is a big one. And I think last year I was really on the road kind of for the first time. And I'm still figuring out what works best because now with radio tour and stuff too, I'm gone Monday, Tuesday. It used to be like weekend runs, Thursday to Saturday, you're back Sunday, Wednesday. But now it's like that Monday to Wednesday kind of, I'm traveling also.
Yep.
So I feel like walking has been kind of my thing because you never know what kind of weights you're going to have at a hotel gym. But I feel like I just try to walk, for 30 minutes, I guess an hour every day. And I went through a stretch last year where I really wasn't working out because I was just getting used to being on the road, and it kind of just overhauled everything. And I definitely think I could feel myself doing better when I am exercising. I get a little more stressed out, a little more on edge if I don't have that time to do that. So I definitely carve that out. And also, I just make sure just talking to people about stuff, no matter how big a deal or little deal it might be. Like if you're feeling some kind of way, just I'm real close with the band now and our tour manager and managers and stuff. So I feel like I've always got somebody to talk to if something's really bothering me. So I think
No,
combination
that's
of those
good.
two things keep it
That's
rolling.
good.
But
That's good. That's good to have people like near you that you can talk to because I feel like if you don't have that outlet, then it's like you keep it bottled up, and then that like keeping things bottled up never really helps anyone, right?
for sure, it's funny too because like it might be a little thing that you feel like isn't worth talking about, but if you leave that unsaid for too long, it can turn into kind of a big thing, and then you finally say it out loud, and you're like, oh, that was bothering me so much, and it was all I needed to do was say it out loud. So yeah, I think the combination of those two things kind of keep me rolling.
Yeah, man, Vincent Mason, thank you so much. I know you're busy, so I'm going to let you go. But thank you so much for coming on, talking about, your past, your present, and even your mental health. Can't wait to see you when you come out to Sacramento at some point, man.
Yes, sir, it's gonna be fun. Thanks for having me.